Welcome to my series on esoteric science. I'm making these videos because I've absorbed such a quantity of information over my life that I believe I'm ready to start piecing things together to see the world in a manner that school never showed me. I believe you're here as well because either A, you have a similar worldview as I do, in that mainstream knowledge is limited to what we need to know and nothing more, or B, are seeing if you can glean knowledge for your own compilation in order to build your own worldview. I know that the word esoteric scares some people because, like you, I was told that only quackpots and stupid people adhere to that form of knowledge. But the very meaning of the word esoteric is intended for, or likely to be understood only by a small number of people with a specialized knowledge or interest. That in no way says crackpot or stupid. In fact, it clearly states that only a small number of people are likely to have minds that are open in this manner to comprehend the knowledge anyhow. Not that this knowledge is somehow lacking in any way. Mainstream scientists live in the realm of numbers. Mathematics is the language of the universe, and as such, scientists of the modern era work almost exclusively within maths to do their work, and as far as I can tell, rarely get the opportunity to test their hypotheses against the actual world in which they live due to the fact that not many people are willing to throw money at their ideas. This limits their field of work mostly to government, massive corporations, or worse still, academia. The place where all good scientists go to have their creativity, openness, and minds ground down to the most basic set of rules that the institution enforces upon them. Not the very best place for creativity now, is it? Numbers are vital for mainstream scientists, as without them, they're unable to continue getting additional funding for future years of work, which puts mathematics at the crux of their focus rather than allowing them to explore their hypotheses with freedom. Scientists who claim to seek the truth use numbers and math to explain our physical world, whereas esoteric scientists, those who seek the truth through more than just numbers and math, employ other methods that mainstream science and media claim to be useless and inaccurate. Esoteric science is just a different approach to the same goal. Among the very basic principles that guide scientists, as well as many other scholars, are those expressed as respect for the integrity of knowledge, collegiality, honesty, objectivity, and openness. These principles are at work in the fundamental elements of the scientific method, such as formulating hypotheses, designing an experiment to test the hypothesis, and collecting and interpreting data. So the keys to being a scientist are 1. Respect for the integrity of knowledge. 2. Collegiality between other scientists. 3. Honesty in what you do. 4. Objectivity, in that if your hypothesis is wrong, don't get hung up on it. Just move on and try a different hypothesis. And 5. Most importantly, openness. Without openness, there's no way to see outside the box. This is typically where most of the next steps are found. The scientific method is defined as 1. Formulate a hypothesis, no matter how crazy it might seem. 2. Design experiments to test your hypothesis. 3. Collect all possible data. And 4. Interpret the data to confirm or reject the hypothesis. So, if you're following this method, you're employing a sound scientific methodology, regardless of your subjective opinion on the hypothesis. My series will follow the scientific method where possible to deduce one or more outcomes. I'll then leave it up to you, the viewer, to either agree with the process, the data, and the results, or reject it and dispute my findings. Either way, we should have a clear, transparent method for deducing the validity or invalidity of the hypotheses that I present. Thanks for taking the journey with me. P.S. Please keep the comments useful. Stupid comments or slurs, just because you don't agree, without a valid argument, will simply be ignored.